and fans streaming into Chase Field here on this Tuesday night. The Yankees and the Diamondbacks game 2 of this 3-game set. Jody Jackson with you on the field. And last night before the game, Joe Girardi, Yankees manager, gave a quick scouting report on the Diamondbacks and said they like to hit home runs. Well, that certainly came true in the first inning. A.J. Burnett found out as Justin Upton with a solo shot to get things started. And then not long after, Adam LaRoche with a 3-run homer that really cracked open the game that early. Yes, first inning, and all of a sudden the Diamondbacks were out to a 5-run lead. But more importantly, what LaRoche says, they got to win and some run support for Rodrigo Lopez.
That's been a struggle for us this year. It's so hard to watch a guy like that go out and grind the way he has and not be able to back him up offensively. So to give him quite a few runs and watch him go to work, and he's been doing it all year for us. He's been as solid as can be out there. The guy doesn't get phased. I mean, no matter what the situation.
That is our Geico quote of the game, and for Rodrigo Lopez, his first win since May 15th, and going 8 innings last night, just giving up 3 runs, a terrific outing. Well, what will happen tonight? The Diamondbacks quieted those Yankees fans early last night. We shall see the energy already building here in Chase Field. First pitch coming up next.
This packed house comes alive once again as Derek Jeter is announced to lead things off against 29-year-old right-hander Daniel John Haren. Glad to have you with us tonight. The energy that has been provided by the defending world champs is welcome. It is welcome up here. It is welcome in the seats. It's welcome in that home locker room. Even though some of the fans may not be cheering for the home team, the Diamondbacks, to their credit, captured the energy last night. Dan Haren ready to roll. He rocks and fires. Strike one right down the middle, and we are underway here at Chase Field. Jeter was 0 for 3 with a couple of walks last night. 6 for his last 36, Derek Jeter. 2,830 hits in his career. That one a little bit low. Pretty good pitch. 1-1 the count. Denny last time out in Boston touched up a bit, as that was a line drive base hit center field. Lincoln 28-31. Let's take a look at the entire starting lineup penciled in by the man out of Northwestern, who began his career as a teammate of yours, Mr. Grace, Joe Girardi. It's Jeter, it's Nick Swisher, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano could be the MVP in the AL. Jorge Posada, Curtis Granderson, Brett Gardner. How much fun is he to watch run around the base paths? And Andy Pettit. Haren making his 16th start of the year. We'll show you all of the numbers in just a moment. Here's Nick Swisher. Nicholas Thomas Swisher out of Ohio State University. Waves at a get-me-over curveball that never got over. 0-1 the count.
He almost got it on the hop. I think he was looking for a fastball.
It's his personality, by the way. You have seen it a lot.
He had his mind made up. He was getting a fastball, and he was going to try to hit it a long, long ways.
From behind the good seats, down the line, we look in. High fly ball, center field. Young tracking. He is shy of the warning track. And he is there to make the play. Jeter doesn't tag as that one back into second base. Defensively for the Diamondbacks, certainly a different look out in left. Cole Gillespie back in the big leagues with Young and Upton. Reynolds, Stephen Drew, Kelly Johnson, Adam LaRoche, Chris Snider with Miguel Montero getting a night off tonight. But Parra and Gillespie, Parra had played the last week's worth of games. Gillespie with a left-hander out there. He tore up left-handers in the minor leagues this year, the man out of Oregon State. UPS Store brings you the numbers overall on Dan Haren. As we mentioned, that ERA stays in the high fours. Last outing in Boston, 5 2/3, 6 runs allowed overall in an 8-5 loss. He reeled off 3 real good ones prior to that, though. That one over the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Mark Teixeira. You can see what a difference a year makes. Still driving in runs, but a couple of steps behind everything. A dozen runs batted in behind as well. High fly left field. Cole Gillespie tested pretty early. Easy chance, 2 outs. Well, Gracie, this is 2 days in a row. I notice these New York Yankees like to elevate the baseball.
They do. They have hit a lot of balls in the air. Most of them are finding gloves out in the outfield. But this is a power-packed lineup. You know, a lot of balls just missed last night off Rodrigo Lopez. And a couple of balls just missed here off of Dan Haren here in the first.
And Rodrigo made it clear in his post-game comments, I was trying to work up in the zone.
Which is very rare. And he even said, you know, it's very rare that pitchers say this, but I wasn't trying to work down in the zone. I was trying to work up in the zone and get those fly balls.
Curveball is away. 1-0 the count to Alex Rodriguez. So A.J. Burnett, he had a tough night last night. I can't say enough about the efforts of the man in the other dugout, Rodrigo Lopez. Burnett had about his 4th consecutive tough start. Curveball 1-1. Back-to-back breaking balls.
And that was the tale of 2 starting pitchers last night, wasn't it?
One can throw in the mid-90s with a wicked breaking ball. The other one invents it as he goes along. But he was fearless.
Thomas Edison last night.
Yes, he was. As Alex drives it deep left field. Gillespie going back to the wall. Rodriguez scores. 592 in his major league career. And number 9 on the season. These fans that cheer for the visiting team, they were quieted early last night. I think because of that, they're even a little bit louder tonight.
Well, this is such a power-packed lineup, full of stars. Like you said, they like to elevate the baseball. A couple of breaking balls to start Alex Rodriguez, get to 1-1, and then, well, it's time to sneak a fastball, isn't it? Well, guess what? Right down the middle in bell tie, and Alex Rodriguez knows just what to do with that. Deposited about 400 feet away in the left field stands.
That is the 19th home run allowed this year by right-hander Dan Haren. As that pitch is low, 1-0 the count. For Haren, 12 of them have been solo shots. 7 have come with runners on like that one. One of the American League's best hitters is this man. And he pops it up. And buried a fastball in. And Mark Reynolds puts it away, but Alex Rodriguez is now 8 away from 600 home runs in his Major League career. He and Haren faced off plenty of times in the American League when Danny was there. That battle won by the third baseman. To 600 career home runs to the 38-year-old left-hander on the mound, Andy Pettit, ready to roll. Against A.J. Hinch and the Arizona Diamondbacks, Kelly Johnson steps up right away. It's Johnson at the top of the order. Cole Gillespie, number 2, Southwest Airlines, brings it to you. Stephen Drew just enough to what a night last night. It's Young, LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, Chris Snider, and Dan Haren. Those are real numbers. Dan, 17 of 40 this year. 38 years old, out of Deer Park, Texas. A draft and follow out of high school. 22nd round pick back in 1990. When it all began for Andy Pettit as he fires away. 1-0 the count. A Yankee in the big leagues from 95 to 03, and then from 2007 until now. 1-1 the count to Kelly. Kelly 1 for 5 last night. But has hung in nicely against lefties this year. See the on base at 368 on the season. League average 330. Breaking ball, pop that one up. A trio of Yankees get together. It's the right fielder, Nick Swisher, making the play for the out. Let's take a look at the Yankees defensively. Granderson surrounded by Gardner and Swisher. A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira. The Home Depot doing more on defense last night. It was a misread, but then athletically, Curtis Granderson made up for it. The former Detroit Tiger, part of a deal in which the Diamondbacks were involved in this winter. With Granderson, the key piece, going to the New York Yankees in a roundabout way. That's how Ian Kennedy ends up here in Arizona. Cole Gillespie takes strike one right down the middle. 0-1 the count to Cole. Ten hits and 39 at bats in the big leagues. And AAA hit 289 in 40 games. That fastball is high. 1-1 the count. Sunshine still peeking in on a hot Arizona day. Nights have still been pretty mild around the valley. The 1-1. Pitch is low. 2-1 the count. Remind us of the straight stuff of Andy Pettit, please.
Well, he's got a couple of fastballs. He's got a four-seam fastball, the straight fastball. It's close to 90 miles an hour. He's got the cut fastball he likes to bully right-handers with. And then he's also got a changeup that he likes to stay away from the right-handers, and then also a pretty doggone good slider, almost like between a slider and a curveball. A big slider is what I like to call it. A slurve.
The 2-2.
That's the cutter.
Wow. That's a harder version of what we saw from, if you folks remember, left-hander Doug Davis, who pitched here for a couple of years.
Right to the back foot it goes. Gillespie missed that by a bunch.
So now Stephen Drew. Drew 0 for 5 last night. 3 for 16 in his career against the New York Yankees. Stevens had a challenge this year against left-handed pitching. He gets the look tonight because he's your starting shortstop. You can see the difference in plate appearance, certainly. Slugging percentage much lower. The 1-0 pitch. There's the breaking ball you spoke of. Well, that breaks from dugout to dugout.
Yeah, that's a big curveball there.
The 1-1 pitch to Steven. Chases. Into the dirt that goes. 84 miles an hour. The boss's seats. Eric Hall and his wife Amy looking on as that one is fouled off. 1-2 the count. Well, Andy Pettitte has at times stood in the shadows of some great pitchers, certainly on these Yankee teams. Has never been a guy that has sought out the limelight. Of course, was a teammate on a couple of occasions in Houston and New York with Roger Clemens. And he has been nothing short of spectacular. 40 starts in the postseason in his career. 40. That pitch is up and in. Diamondbacks fans, I would imagine, remember 2 starts in 2001 in which he was very human. He had a 10 ERA. He lost game 2. He lost game 6. I know you remember.
I remember that very well. I remember a 3-run homer from Matt Williams in game 2 to lead the victory as that was sliced to left field. One, two, three go the Diamondbacks.
I was a bench coach under Joe Torre, and I'm forever grateful because he basically allowed me to manage the game in my head, and whatever suggestion I had, he said, give it to me. And it was great. And if he used it, great. If he didn't, no problem. But he allowed me to think along with him, which I'm forever grateful. He was great with people. He really knew the heartbeat of his players and what was going on in their lives, and that is something that I've tried to really get involved in.
The skipper of these New York Yankees, speaking of his Yankee days, not only as a player under Joe Torre, but then as a bench coach. He was open to all of my ideas. He might not have used them all, Gracie, but he was open to all of them.
That's exactly right, and that's all you can ask. Yeah, I mean that's your partner in crime, your bench coach. Give it to me. Even if I don't agree with it, give it to me anyway.
0-1 the count to Jorge Posada. That one just in. 1-1 the count. A home run by Alex Rodriguez back in the first inning. The big blow. Danny allowing 19 home runs this year. Kevin Millwood also with 19 allowed. That's the highest total in the big leagues. That one is chopped foul. We mentioned it earlier. Dan Haren in his career has made 7 starts against the Yankees. He is 4-0 with a 3.77 ERA. He last faced him in 07 as an A. As that one is low. And it was an interesting day because Dan in New York went 5 1/3 against the Yankees. He gave up 5 runs and he won because his foe in the other dugout, as the 2-2 is fouled off of the plate, had a really bad day.
And who might have that been?
Andy Pettit gave up 8 runs in an inning and 2/3 the last time Dan Haren pitched against the Yankees.
Timing is everything.
That is the only time those two have faced one another. They were in the Central together for a while, one in St. Louis, one in Houston. Never faced each other in that situation. National League Central, that is. Strike 3.
Now, Jorge Posada's disagreeing with the call, but he's going to find out when he takes a look at the replay that this was certainly a strike. I think he thought it was down. Watch him gesture like it might have been down, but he's going to realize that was a strike.
Very good pitch there. Locks up the 38-year-old catcher. Now Curtis Granderson. Oh, and 1 the count.
I think when Posada went back to the dugout, do you think there was a phone call from his dad?
Oh, I've seen that spot. I'm going to guess no, but you never know with the Yankees.
Okay.
As that one is up and away. 1-0 the count. Or check that 1-1.
I like that commercial, by the way.
The 1-1. Breaking ball. Solid. 1-2 the count. Just got a piece of it. The entire starting lineup tonight against Dan Haren with career matchups, hitting .280 against him. 5 home runs. Nothing overwhelming, certainly, but solid numbers if you piece them all together against Danny.
Couldn't get him to chase upstairs around the letters.
Curtis with 30 home runs last year as a member of the Detroit Tigers. Over the top, cut fastball there. So back-to-back strikeouts to start things in the second inning. And that was a nasty pitch.
That's the cut fastball, and right over the top of it goes Granderson. And as you said, that was a nasty cut fastball. And I'll bring up Brett Gardner, who has decided he's just not going to make an out in Arizona.
He didn't make one yesterday. He had a couple of stolen bases as well, scored a couple of runs. And we're not talking about lightning rod shots off the wall. We're talking about ground balls that had eyes, and by the time the Diamondbacks tried to pick up those infield rollers, he was on. 0-1 the count to Gardner. Because of that, look at Mark Reynolds at third. And he's even closer than he was last night. Way in on the grass.
It doesn't take long to learn. This guy can fly.
The 0-1. Boy, pretty good pitch. It's called low. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. In June, he is rolling. He has 19 hits, hitting .422, and on base, a .500. He's been on base half the time. Right at the belt, 1-2 the count to Gardner. Not a bad pace to pitch if you feel confident in getting up there, a guy like that with fastballs, because you'd love it if he hit it in the air.
Absolutely. He's not a guy that's going to hit many home runs, even though he's got 3 on the year, but not very often. I'd say he's set up for a split finger. Let's see. Well, he went with the fastball and rung it up.
Fastball over the outside corner. They have beautiful hotels in New York, but also here in downtown Phoenix. Good morning, Mr. Posada. Good afternoon, Mr. Granderson. Good evening, Mr. Gardner. Welcome to Hotel Haren. Shall we turn your bed down for you? Diamondbacks baseball is brought to you by Schumacher European, DriveTheBest.com, and by AAA. 1-800-INSURANCE. Save money now. AAA. There when you need us most. What a night for Justin Upton last night. In his first ever at bats against the New York Yankees, Justin Upton was perfect as he takes a strike right below the knees. Andrew Eugene Pettit, 38 years young, just turned 5 days ago. Buried that in. Long throw. Jeter not in time. Infield hit. Justin Upton.
Don't look now, but somebody's heating up.
Goodness.
And it's that man right there. It's a sign when you're starting to heat up. Even when you don't hit the ball hard, you find the right spot. Just out of the reach of A-Rod. And when you've got speed like that, speed never goes into a slump, ever. Hitting can, pitching can, even the glove can, but if you've got speed, it never goes into a slump.
That man knows out there in left field, Brett Gardner.
He made an out.
He actually did make it out, amazingly enough. A strikeout of all things. So Upton is on. He is now 4 for 4 against the Yankees in this series. Hit by a pitch and a walk. And he had a little bit of little kid in him racing up the line, sniffing out that hit. Watch this bubble. I love that. Great catch in the truck, guys. That's good stuff.
Andy Pettit has one of the best pickoff moves ever.
Pettit, as that one sails right down the middle. He's picked off 1 this year. He picked off 18 in 08 and 09 combined, and 107 in his career he has picked off.
I'm sure Matt Williams continues to tell him he's got a great move. You think he's going home? Nope. He's got you.
Is it the balance, the ability to hang that leg out there?
Probably.
Young beaten with the fastball there, 0-2 the count. Every time a D-back hits a home run this season, Fulton Holmes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Not only is he getting picked off, it's just no one runs. I mean, you're looking at a guy now that has thrown 87 in a third innings. There has been one stolen base attempt him all year long. One. He's getting close to 100 innings. One. It was successful, but just one. There's that cut fastball.
That's his go-to strikeout pitch against right-handed hitters. That cut fastball right on the back foot of the right-handed hitter. We've seen it twice now. One to Gillespie and now one to Young.
Well, under that had a lot more salt to go with that pepper now for Andy
Nothing
Bennett.
wrong with that.
Oh, I know exactly what it's like.
I speak from experience.
It's just interesting when you play so long for a team that seems to be in the postseason every year. That isn't the case, but you feel like on a national stage, you can see the most all time. The stat became official in '74. That there are a handful of players that the nation has watched pitch, play, and get older. And he's one of them. LaRoche takes a cutter over the outside, 0-1 the count. So he'll throw that to lefties as well, huh? That cut fastball.
He did right there, as a matter of fact. And you know, that's not one of his go-to weapons, but he's got a fastball. He likes to kind of run back in on the hands of the lefties. But that was beautifully done to the outside corner.
Let's see if he goes there after going away. That's Gracie's talking about. That's exactly what he did. That's good stuff. 1-1 the count.
Those are the ones in the World Series that me, Gonzo, Finley, we saw these. Right under the elbow. Spin you back a little bit, and then maybe go to the slider of the breaking ball next pitch.
Upton has been kept close. He's got 11 stolen bases. They play LaRoche to pull pretty dramatically infield, outfield, straight up, as that one he missed, and it missed in. You see Pettit pointed his lead shoulders and say, I rushed it. Posada went to say something to him. He interrupted him. All nonverbal.
They've been pitching and catching each other for a long time now, these two.
The Diamondbacks with 15 stolen bases since June the 5th. Only Tampa and Florida with more in the majors. Pettit's well aware of that. Adam with a 3-run home run last night in the first inning. That man able to breathe a sigh of relief, if only for a moment, as his club stepped up offensively. Do they have him picked off on a caught stealing with the tag? They do. It doesn't go as a straight pickoff. That's a caught stealing in the end.
He was just going on his first move, gambling. There's the pickoff, and really a perfect throw from Teixeira is what it took to get Upton. You see the tag on the knee just before the ball, before the foot of Justin Upton, but that's a design play. That's going on first move, taking a chance, and making the defense make a play. And to Pettit and Teixeira's credit, they made the play.
The 2-1 pitch. It misses in. 3-1 the count. He had a feeling Posada would head out because, again, Andy rushed off with that lead shoulder and is dragging his arm behind a little bit.
So I'm all right. Let's go.
This is the pickoff play.
What a weapon it is when you've got a good pickoff move.
Laz Diaz in there to ring him up. Wally Bell's behind the plate. Inside, same thing.
Yeah, and you can see Posada every time was set up on the outside corner, and Pettit not only missing in, but missing way inside, up and in. Mike Harkey, the acting pitching coach right now. Kind of concerned about what he's seeing out there, hoping his star lefty is okay. Posada out there again. That would be the last thing Joe Girardi and the Yankees need.
It's interesting how Jorge stood. Didn't even get to the dirt of the mound, just stood within earshot of Pettit. Watched him dig around, had a few words, and then walked back. Looked like a gunslinger standing out front of the mound. All right, Mark Reynolds. Fastball pours it in there. 0-1 the count. Back to where he wants to be with regard to those mechanics. Mark 17 home runs, 48 batted in. He homered last night. He walked a couple of times, had a great night. Also a stolen base. Won just over 200. Against Strides. He shoots that one down the line. Over the plate is Gardner. LaRoche hustles on. Reynolds into second. Safe. Just by the tag of Robinson Cano.
What an excellent slide by Mark Reynolds. Wow. And what a great throw by Brett Gardner. That cutter, Mark Reynolds cuts it right off. And then a strong throw from Gardner on one hop. Watch the slide right around the tag. That is a great slide by Mark Reynolds. You can see Robinson Cano still hadn't tagged him. Well, that's all part of winning baseball. The athleticism of Mark Reynolds showing right there. Giving Chris Snider an opportunity here with a couple of guys on base.
And a base open with the pitcher on deck. But the pitcher hits .425 in Dan Haren. See if Snider can cash in. Outfield in a few steps as that one runs in. Yep, he went around. 0-2 the count. James Hoy is out there, bringing him up. John Hirschbeck, by the way, is at third. We've told you about all the men in black now as Danny waits. Now that it's 0-2, there'll be no pitching around anybody.
Ooh, he went with a fastball right down Broadway. 0-2. Take a look at the slide again. And what a great call by Laz Diaz. Great slide. And that was a great shot of that right there, that Exmo camera.
Posada fortunate to come up with that one. I was talking with Mark before the game about the stolen base last night, and I said, hey, upstairs, and I know in the crowd, excited to see you stealing bases again. He said, I'm starting to feel better in my quads, but you never know until you test it out in a game. I can run the bases during batting practice. I can do wind sprints. He said, I had to try to steal a base for my own psyche. Popped it up. Posada giving look. And so feeling the oats a little bit, trying to, as you said, stretch that single into a double. Without that slide, he's out.
That's what I was saying. What a great throw by Brett Gardner.
Accurate. And great.
And had something
right
on it.
There. Chris is hitless in his last 18 at-bats with runners in scoring position.
So you're saying he's due?
Right here, tie it up. 1-2 the count. I think Jorge wanted time there.
Yeah. Time in.
He made it clear. He's a former longtime big league catcher. What an interesting collection of managers he played for. The 1-2. Hanging around. We'll do it again. 1-2 the count. Hey, you think about that man in the dugout as he looks to get his club get out of this mess. He played for Don Zimmer, Don Baylor, Joe Torre, and Tony La Russa in his final year.
Yeah.
1-2 the count. And when he got his first opportunity, that club in Florida he managed just for one season in 06. Their payroll was, what, about $15 million?
Did a good job with him.
Snider trying to tie this game up. Fastball is high, 2-2 the count. Chris only had 6 at-bats on the recent road trip. Miguel, rolling offensively, played a majority of the time. Just got a piece.
They're having a good battle out there. He's seen just about everything from Pettit. Hasn't seen a changeup yet, but he's seen an assortment of breaking balls and a lot of fastballs. Always that glove right up to the mouth to get his sign, like only Andy Pettit can.
Pitch number 9 is a 2-2, and it's popped up. That one's in the seats right down below us here in the ballpark. So we'll do it again, 2-2 the count. Just get a piece of the tough ones. Once, twice, heck, 5 times if you're Snider. You hope to catch him at some point making a mistake. Chris does have, though he's hitting .217, 9 home runs, 27 runs batted in, now in a part-time role. The 2-2.
I don't think he went on that. He did not.
He did not. Count is full.
Let's take a look-see. Nah, he didn't go on that one.
Interleague baseball, National League Park. Pitcher waits on deck, but first the 3-2.
Well, they're having a good battle up there.
Well, heading to 12 pitches in the at-bat now. Well, what an at-bat by the Diamondbacks catcher, who, as we mentioned, has scuffled in this situation. Another 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Couple of gentlemen out of the Houston, Texas area, as our favorite fan is back. Dueling there.
That was a big-time at-bat by Chris Snider. Even though it didn't produce a run, it took 11 or 12 pitches, and he even stared at him a little bit like, hey, and not with maliciousness, just, you know what, with respect. That was a good battle we just had. The only thing is, Andy Pettit probably has never faced a batter or a pitcher that's hitting .425.
Not like Dan Haren. That's 17 for 40. That's 4 RBIs. 6 of his 17 hits this year have been doubles. And in the 40 at-bats on a team that strikes out a lot, he has struck out 5 times in the 40 at-bats.
Well, let's see if he can just calm down and slow things down. Oh, boy, he got a call. Well, Dan Haren, I'm sure, would love to get that call below the knees. Yeah, he's not saying anything to Wally Bell, but if looks could kill.
Base is full. Next pitch for Pettit will be number 40 in the ball game. Haren to the right side, hugging the line, but it's fouled into the seats.
Just missed emptying the bases there with a double down the line. Took that cutter in, sliced it the other way, just foul.
Rare do we say this about a pitcher, but Danny's in the middle of a 5-game hitting streak, 7 for his last 15. The 0-2. Pokes that one. Fair ball! 1 run is in. Reynolds comes on down. We are tied. You can make it a 6-game hitting streak.
Andy Pettit's never seen a pitcher hit like that young man. What an amazing job of hitting by Dan Haren. Watch the pitch, folks. That is a good pitcher's pitch. Just off the plate on the outside corner. What does he do? Just swats it the other way. He takes what Andy Pettit gives him, and he helps himself. That is just beautiful hitting. Beautiful hitting by the pitcher.
On 0-2. That's his second 6-game hitting streak of the year. Second 6-game hitting streak of the year. He's a pitcher.
That is very impressive.
And he's now hitting .439 this year. And we're tied at 2. So now, Kelly Johnson. 41 pitches for Pettit. Andy certainly knows what it's like. He did 3 years in the National League with Houston, as that one is fouled back.
Well, Kelly Johnson had a good swing of the slider that stayed in the middle of the plate there.
All 12 of the Arizona runs scored in this series with 2 outs. And you want to make it hurt worse? Have the pitcher drive in the last 2.
And that's a guy that's right now. It's a 1-horse race for the Silver Slugger as far as pitchers are concerned. 6 RBIs.
Johnson into center field. Anderson is there. He puts it away. But Pettit is touched up. Not by slugger Justin Upton. Not by slugger Mark Reynolds. But by his mate on the mound, Dan Haren. We certainly need more signs. I don't know if I've told you folks that over my first couple of years here. I mean a lot more. But it's a good start tonight. Our text poll to 36929. How do you feel about the New York Yankees? A, we love them. B, we hate them. Or C, neither.
Well, for my D.
Oh, you D.
Yeah,
okay.
I have a D. How about I respect them?
Respect them. Every race needs a pace car. So play along. Andy Pettit, 134 career hitter. 25 for 186 as he takes a pitch that is high.
Does the Kentucky Derby have a pace car?
No.
Oh.
No. It doesn't. But, you know, when you go to the dog track, they have the little, you know, metal rabbit that goes out front. Yes.
Have you been to the dog races here in Phoenix?
No, I need to.
Big league. It's fun.
The 1-1.
I don't win very much.
1-2 the count.
But I have hundreds of dollars worth of fun.
Oh, that's... You know what, next time you want to go, just take me out to a nice dinner instead. The 1-2. Breaking ball, that's strike 3.
4 straight strikeouts now for Haren.
Look at this. Our good friends and partners with Taco Bell. Anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. And
well, wait a minute. What is going on out there?
Yeah, the D-backs got there last night. They got to the runs.
Toby, look. What's Toby doing? How many has he had?
Well, he bought a couple of large drinks.
His nice box shirt.
Man, Toby, show a little self-control.
Derek Jeter takes a strike over the outside corner. 0-1 the count. We love our partnership with Taco Bell. 3 at a time. We took advantage of it. Large drink 3. We fed our crew. The 0-1. Jeter takes a curveball. No balls and 2 strikes to Derek.
Here's throwing some nice curveballs tonight.
Snapping them off a little bit more. Maybe a little bit harder. Split-fingered fastball.
Well, that was a well-executed split-finger too, Darren. Derek Jeter and maybe about 5 other people in the big leagues have the ability to lay off that one.
The 1-2. Protecting, just gets a piece of that one as he fouls it off.
A little review from last night. Remember the at-bat that this man had in the 9th inning of a 10-3 ball game? He had about a 8-9 pitch at-bat, battled, got a walk. Just very impressive how he just never gives away an at-bat.
The 1-2. Fastball, fly ball, center field. Young is there. Chris makes the play. So, for Haren, that is now 6 in a row set down since the Alex Rodriguez home run. And now Nick Swisher. Three-time All-Star, Dan Haren. These matchups with Nick Swisher, the first they have had. A couple of former A's. As Swisher's beaten by the fastball there, 0-1 the count. When Alex Rodriguez homered, that was his first ever home run against Dan Haren. Came in hitting .235 against Danny.
But just like all the great ones, with that many home runs, Darren, guys like Griffey Jr., Bonds, and it's a longer list, they're eventually going to get you. Just like Dan Haren's eventually going to get you.
Boy, cut fastball. I don't know how he took it. 2-1 the count.
You can see Dan Haren letting Wally Bell know, I need that one.
You think it was in, though?
It was close.
Close. That one he spins off. Looked like a breaking ball there. 3-1 the count.
I'm not saying it was a strike, Darren, but Dan Haren's letting Wally Bell know, I need that one.
Down the line that one goes, and it's into the seats. 3-2 the count. Can you respectfully, as a pitcher or a hitter, if it's respectful, lobby an umpire like Phil Jackson in the NBA is known to do as a head coach?
Dan Haren can. He's Dan Haren. He's a 3-time All-Star. He started an All-Star game. Absolutely, he can. I mean, this is not a communist society, baseball.
Into right center field and hangs up, and Young plays it on a hop. Certainly hope not. Swisher is 1 for 2.
You're allowed to disagree with umpires, and they're allowed to disagree with you. That's all part of it. That's how the great ones like Greg Maddux. And I'm not going to put Haren in Maddox's class, at least yet, but you know, Maddux would let umpires know that when he threw that ball 8 inches outside, that should be a strike. And a lot of times those umpires started giving it to him as that was whacked into right field. So the New York Yankees making some noise here with 2 outs.
Swisher with a single, Teixeira with a single.
And guess who's coming to town? Alex Rodriguez, who has homered. And all of a sudden, there's a big buzz in this stadium.
For Rodriguez, that was his first home run in his last 48 plate appearances. Still in single digits at 9. Fastball is high, 1-0 the count. Cano waits on deck.
How are you going to try to work Alex Rodriguez in this situation, Darren Sutton? Put yourself on the mound in Dan Haren's stuff.
Cutters.
Cutters away.
Make him drive it to right. Oh, he went straight fastball there. That had good life on it.
92 miles an hour. It was straight, but it was away, as you said.
He was looking for something else.
And all A-Rod could do was shank it foul.
You see that?
He was thinking that way. I'm sorry, Darren. Go ahead.
Did you see that graphic? 147 career home runs with runners in scoring position alone.
And over 300.
The 1-1.
That was the cutter. Rodriguez able to lay off of it.
This is obviously what makes this the most potent offense in baseball, or at least consistently all year, one of the most. You can't really pitch around anyone to get to anybody else.
Yeah, you got Robinson Cano on deck, who's hitting 364.
Line drive into center field. It's a base hit. That was a curveball. Alex did not try to do too much, and that's when you hit in your career more than 300 with runners in scoring position. Teixeira just moved up 90 feet. Alex with 3 runs batted in on the night, 3-2 the score.
Yeah, that breaking ball just hangs in the middle of the zone, and A-Rod rips it right back up the box. Scoring easily is Nick Swisher. And now it's the Yankees' turn to do damage with 2 outs. As you said, didn't try to do too much with it, just rifled it back up the box. Entertaining ball game so far, and the Yankees go ahead and trump the 2-run single by Dan Haren.
1,754 career RBIs. Curveball up, but a strike. Split-fingered fastball and a dandy 0-2.
Beautifully executed there by Haren. Pitch of the night right here. Biggest pitch of his night. MVP candidate in Cano. Desperately trying to keep his team in the ball game here.
Split again, 1-2 the count. Split-fingered fastball, that is.
You can see the perspiration just flowing off the face, the nose of Dan Haren. High intensity pitches. Every one against the New York Yankees is.
Ian with a fastball spins him out of there. 2-2 the count. Danny this year with no one on has opponents hitting .251 against him. With runners in scoring position, that average is 54 points higher. The 2-2. Fastball, fly ball, center field. Chris Young counts. Alex Rodriguez has driven in all 3 runs tonight for the New York Yankees. That man, Dan Haren, has driven in the other 2. 3-2.
Center field. The Diamondbacks are world champions.
Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play, and I can talk all I want about the energy in this series in the ballpark.
I thank God for this, man.
How about the energy that night in that ballpark? Gracie, you describe it as feeling a feeling like you've never felt when that ball dropped in off of his bat. What did the feeling feel like for you?
It was incredible. I mean, the odds were really stacked against us, and I know Gracie could tell you, but I still remember him running in saying, we got to believe, and then, you know, he dominated us in the 8th inning, Mariano, I'm talking
Struck
about.
out the side.
And then in the 9th, when Gracie led off with a hit, we're like, we got this. You know, something good's going to happen here.
You were really happy when Brindley pinch ran for me, weren't you?
I would have liked to seen you out there scoring, chucking around when Womack hit that ball out there. But, you know, it just, we had so many great guys on that team, and we gelled well together, and it was just a fun time. It's hard to believe it's already been 9 years, and next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of that World Series championship.
Unbelievable. And lost in that whole 9th inning a lot of times, Gonzo. Obviously, and deservedly so, you get a lot of the credit, and a lot of people say, but Tony Womack and the hit he got, and the hit he got against the St. Louis Cardinals, he got some huge hits that year.
And he did it against the guys that are really tough against left-handed hitters. But if you knew Tony Womack as a hitter, he can hit a ball thrown right at him, and he keeps it fair inside the line.
This is the guy you're talking about. You gentlemen, you lived it. You break this down.
I mean, look at that pitch about 4 inches inside. Mariano Rivera throwing that cutter. And Tony Womack, that was his nitro zone. He loved that ball in there. And that was what tied the ball game up and set up. But Counsell got hit with the next pitch, and that set you up.
And there you saw Midre Cummings. I mean, on this club that we had, it took really about 30 to 35 guys.
Right.
And believe it or not, everybody on that team contributed all year. I mean, from top to bottom, it was a different hero every night, and it was so much fun to be around the guys. We hung around, stayed together in the locker rooms after games. We got there early to the park. It was just fun to come to the ballpark and knowing that you had a chance to win, and we gelled so well together.
Guys, it was an older club too, right, Gracie, Gonzo?
We were the oldest club in baseball. The average age, we were older than anybody in baseball.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we were old, but we weren't over the hill yet. We still, but you know, Randy's age took it so high, you know. But,
fair enough.
But we were still very talented, and like he said, there was a lot of guys it was their first chance in the World Series. Guys like myself, all of us were from other organizations, because the Diamondbacks were in their infancy at that time, only in their 4th year. So we were a potpourri of guys that really other organizations kind of gave up on, and we all ended up out here, and we won a championship together.
Yeah, and I think we all held each other accountable out there when we went out there and played. And sometimes it's
well said.
You know, we kind of looked at each other, and if you screwed up out on the field, one of the guys would, hey, we don't do that, and we'll let you know about it. And I think that's what motivated each one of us, because we knew the other 24 guys on the team were counting on you to do your job and get whatever whether it was moving a runner over or trying to drive a guy in, whatever we had to do to get that job done, we were going to do it.
How did that happen? How did all those pieces come together? Was it one single veteran leader? Was it the manager? How did it happen? Or, not to disrespect it, but was it just the right mix of players?
Well, I'll let Gonzo talk after this, but I can say Bob Brindley was the perfect manager for that team. However, I thought we policed ourselves awfully well. I really do. We were a team that if somebody made a mistake on the field, we weren't a team that had home run dances. We didn't do celebratory strikeouts or anything like that. We just came out and we tried to beat you and beat you with class.
And we talked about the game after it was over.
Right.
We would sit around and go over it. If we lost that game, you better be sure you better bring your A game the next day, because we were coming to get you. And I think that's what gelled well with our team. We didn't take losses too kindly, and we wanted to come back. When teams came to this ballpark, we had a swagger, and we wanted to show them, just as the Yankees do. They have a lot of great veteran players, and when they take the field, you know that they've come to play, and that's the kind of swagger that we had on that ball club.
And you talked about it, Gracie. We interviewed Joe Girardi, you and I, before the game, and he said, as far as we go in our expectations, as Upton rolls that one out to second. You got a few more minutes for us?
Sure.
Luis Gonzalez joining us, along with Mark Grace, 2 world champions from 2001 as we look back.
Nice hit, Gonzo.
Center field, a good start for Arizona. Grace with his 3rd hit.
Luis Gonzalez joining us up in the broadcast booth. I'll ask you in a minute. You got the huge hit to get it started. What did you think when that ball went into center field and touched the grass?
Oh, man, I was excited. This place was electric. I mean, every night. See how it is here tonight? This is how it was every single night when we played. I mean, I think what our team did was we created the energy, the community. We fed off of them, and they fed off of us, and we created a huge bond. The fans pulled for us, and we knew we were representing Arizona when we took the field, and I think that's what made it one big unit out there when we played.
Gracie, your thoughts on that at-bat to start it, and then what it was like to be done for the season, essentially.
Yeah,
I mean,
that at-bat lasted 2 pitches. That was a 1-0 pitch that I hit into center field. It got the inning started. And then all of a sudden I see David DeLucci coming out to run for me, and I was like, yes! But as I'm running off the field and this place is bedlam, I just realized my season is over. This is Game 7. This is the last game of the season. And my season's over now. It is completely out of my control now. I'm not running the bases anymore. All I can do is that was lifted to left field. Gillespie's right there. He'll put it away. I'll take that one, Darren. Thank you very much. But I realize now I've got to just all I can do is just pull for my teammates, pull for every single guy that's up in that box, and try to be with them in spirit and try to be with them in any way possible. And I just was pacing, and I was a caged lion over there, as we all were over in that dugout watching that inning unfold.
They just showed a great shot of Matt Williams. That's the look we got if you messed up out on the field. Yeah.
You didn't want that look.
That's not just reputation.
No. I mean, there's that look right there. See that? Look at that. That's the look you would get right there. He didn't have to say words. Sometimes he just stare at you like that, and you knew you better pick your game up.
He is one of the biggest sweethearts you'll ever meet in your life, Matt Williams. But if you upset him or if you tick him off, you just go home. Just go home. You're better off just going home.
He wants you to play 100% every time out there. He had a lot of self-talks in the dugout with himself after at-bats.
Yes, he did.
Deep to right field. Anderson is there. On a lighter note, guys, and I think on a fun note, the D-backs Legends race is coming to a head. 4 players selected and a lot of great choices. Gonzo, you're in. Randy is in. Matty is in. I don't know if he's in. I mean, I don't know if my guy's in or not. We'll find out here tomorrow.
Me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was pushing for the Racing Gracies, and I'm hoping to get you in the end. I know we can't have now the Cub Gracie that always loses. We can't have that one.
Yeah, well, he wants a Cub Gracie that never wins.
Well, we couldn't figure out the silhouette there, who that fourth one was.
I couldn't figure out who it was.
Could be Finley, could be Womack. Schilling's on the list.
I think Council.
Myself, Council.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
There's a lot of good choices. A lot of good choices. Robert Ellis. Oh, he didn't make the list?
He was big for us that year, though, believe it or not.
He won a lot of games
He was big. I mean, there was a lot of guys that I think fell through the cracks that people wouldn't remember their names until we brought them up. But we did. We had a good bunch of guys that came up and filled some holes for us when we need them with injuries and guys just coming up big for us every time they came up.
The 0-2. Gonzo, thanks for stopping
thanks
by.
For having
Always a pleasure, my friend.
All right, good seeing you guys.
Taking a trip down memory lane with us. We'll see you in Tampa this weekend. Trivia question as we move to the bottom half of inning number 4. Name the 5 players with the most home runs in New York Yankees history. 3-2 the score.
History?
In the history of the New York Yankees. A-Rod chomps on some gum. 3-2. 5 hits for New York, 3 for Arizona. Neither team has committed an error, and both teams have stranded a pair. Ended up right down the middle. He wanted it in. 0-1 the count to Chris Young. Young struck out back in the second inning. Bouncing ball out in front of a big sweeping breaking ball.
Need to find a way to get some guys on for Dan Haren. Did you ever think you'd hear that?
No, but it makes sense. On 0-2. Fastball and up and away. Sada telling him, take it easy. Andy wheels and deals. Fastball, I think. Maybe thinking about something else. He just reared back, tried to stay one step ahead of him. Went with the fastball at the belt.
It looked like Chris Young was looking for something else and just got a fastball blown right by him.
Pettit has never won a Cy Young award, but he finished second in the voting in 1996. He won 21 games that year, finished second. See if you remember this name, folks. Pat Henkin won the award. Shot up the ladder goes Cano. Outstretched glove, he makes the play. You can't hit it much harder than Adam just hit it.
Yeah, he's got that right. What a bullet. Really a nice snare there. You don't even see Cano. Now you do. Well, that's a great play. Great timing. Great athletic ability. Frustrating there if you're Adam LaRoche.
So now Mark Reynolds.
Good visit with Gonzo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice. For me, each and every time it's educational. I hear you guys talk about that team and the expectations you guys had. And
I love the fact that Gonzo's talked about the accountability that was expected from everyone.
What did you guys talk about in spring training? You've shared that with me before.
Well, remember what we talked about, and we had the good fortune to be able to talk with Joe Girardi before the game. And I not want to spoil what he said, but basically you have the first day of spring training, the manager comes out and talks to you, and Bob Brenly and had basically come out and said, this team is really, really good. And this team is going to win the World Series. If we play well, if we stay healthy and play to our abilities, we're going to win the World Series. And anything else, then we underachieved. And all of a sudden, however many guys were in that room, let's say 40 guys, all of our chests immediately just puffed out like, yes, that's the kind of leadership we needed. And we went out and won the World Series.
Can you imagine that speech in spring training, Gracie? Your manager looked into a room full of players and said, as a Diamondback, anything less than a World Series title is unacceptable.
I loved it. I never got those speeches on my Cubs teams. Because 2 out of my 13 years with the Cubs were we over 500. 89 and 98.
Well, counting 2 outs. So, yes, it is fun to have him in here, to have you two together on the occasion when we have Maddie in here.
Well, Gonzo and I were also teammates in Chicago. A whole different philosophy.
Reynolds goes down on strikes.
The Yankee way is just bottom line, win. Play the game the right way and win. If you don't win the World Series, you didn't have a good season. It's not good enough. So that's basically the Yankee way. They're going to teach you how to play the game the right way. They're going to teach you how to win. But when you get to New York, you're expected to win, bottom line. Not, oh, we had a good season, we made the playoffs, or our young kids, you know, had a great season and they grew up and they're going to be ready next year. Just win.
That was before the game today, and it was
just win.
Fun for me to join in with you two guys, former teammates, in a conversation as Pettit takes strike two. When you think about it, we can mention the managers that he played for, but I had that brief time as a bench coach, 1 season for Joe Torre, 1 year as a manager in Florida. And you go from that experience to that expectation. Wow.
Not easy.
He must have been meant to be the Yankees manager, quite honestly. And I mean that respectfully. We spent that time with him. You spent time in the big leagues with him as a player, as a young. You were a little bit old, what, a couple years older than him when he came along?
Maybe a year older.
Not much.
Yeah, he came right out of Northwestern University to the minor league team I was playing for in Peoria, Illinois. He got there in June. I had gotten there in April, and we were teammates all the way up through the Cubs system and got to the big leagues at the same time. I got a lot of memories with that man. And as far as he's concerned, every one of them good.
The 2-2. Pettit says, you know what, I can still hit a little bit. We told you, had a handful of hits in his time in the National League. Certainly didn't embarrass himself with a bat in his hand.
Yeah, even when you hang a pitcher a breaking ball, they got a chance to hit it, and that's exactly what happens. Spin a little breaking ball up there, and Pettit just swats it right back up the box. Nicely done.
So after Andy picks up the single, here's Derek Jeter. He singled and scored and flied to center field. Fastball, perfect pitch, strike one. Derek didn't much like that call. 0-1 the count. That was 2 evil eyes to Wally Bell. Into the seats it goes. Oh, and 2 the count. Gets him to wave at a cut fastball away.
Well, you don't see Jeter look bad like that very often, but Dan Haren can do it to even some of the best. Right to the glove it goes. And we can see Jeter was just trying to foul it off and missed it.
That's all he was trying to do, wasn't it?
He has the ability to do that, to foul a ball off on purpose, but not that time. Good pitch.
Well, I guess if it's straight, if it doesn't have the cut to it, he fouls it off.
He can just tap it foul.
Oh, what a great pitch that is. So now Nick Swisher with Andy Pettit out there. They won't hold him. And the cut fastball in there for strike one. Interleague baseball all around the game except for one series in Houston where San Francisco and Houston are dueling. As that one is up and away. Our Quest high-speed internet high-speed pitch. Andy Pettit, 91. Dan Haren, 93. Two and one the count. You know, when you're the lone National League game, because of the 16 teams in the National League, you always feel left out, don't you? Everyone else is playing interleague ball. The 2-1. High fly. Heading towards the seats. Although I don't think there's anything wrong with a classic Lincecum-Oswalt matchup. The Lincecum won 3-1.
People were starting to doubt Tim Lincecum a little bit. Well, all you really need is a trip to Houston to make yourself feel a little better about things.
The 2-2. Pitch is high, 3-2 the count. You like interleague play, Gracie?
I do, but it can be better. I like the fact that this happens. The Yankees come to town, but the Yankees don't go everywhere. They're just going to the West, the National League West this year. And you got the Red Sox. It was good for the Diamondbacks this year as far as being able to face these teams. It's not good for your one-loss record.
Understand.
But as far as the fans are concerned, I think the fans like it. I think the former player in me, I think it can work better because I think baseball just needs a universal set of rules. In other words, either get rid of the DH or put the DH in the National League. I really don't believe that baseball needs a different set of rules for both leagues.
Where are we now? I'm going to stop on one thing you're talking about with regard to your old union as a player. Where would you think the players' union would be should they want to ditch the DH?
Well, they would be completely against it. Completely against it, but I don't care. And I would have a voice. Like I said, I'm not saying you have to get rid of the DH. Just put it in the National League then. As that was skied, another airborne baseball. As Kelly Johnson puts this away. Now, when an American League team like the New York Yankees is sitting, when they're in Florida and they're deciding who makes the team and who doesn't, usually when they're going to take their team north to New York, probably two guys on that team are going to be taken as DHs. For instance, last year Hideki Matsui was going to be the DH for that team, period. The Diamondbacks, they have nobody on this team that's a DH. You know who the DH was in the American League cities? Tony Abreu. Okay? Tony Abreu. But that's not Big Papi. Okay? And that's not some of the great DHs in the game. So the Diamondbacks, they're taking fourth and fifth infielders and outfielders. And so and then also, even though Andy Pettitte got a base hit there, some of the American League, pitchers don't practice their bunting. Pitchers don't practice their hitting. So they're in an unfair advantage when they come to the National League. So I think it can be better if you just get a universal set of rules. Either get rid of the DH, which I am for, or put it in both leagues. And I think it can work that way.
3-1 the count.
Or how about this? How about have a year where if you go to an American League park, play National League rules? Or when somebody comes out here, we'll play the DH out here. I think fans would enjoy that.
I think they would as well. High drive sends Justin shy of the track. He puts it away.
I got all the answers. Just asking.
I got a lot of questions for you. More after this.
explain the decision to put Snider in. Obviously hard to sit down Miguel Montero, batting .382 since he's come back from injury and knee surgery. But tonight, a couple reasons. Montero's been involved in the last 7 games, whether catching or DHing, and Chris Snider has seen Andy Pettitte more than anyone on this Diamondbacks roster, going 4 for 10 with 2 walks. And even though Dan Haren has driven in the 2 runs tonight, it was Chris Snider's terrific at-bat. He took a walk that allowed the inning to extend and for Haren to get up to bat, guys.
So A.J. Hinch behind a solid decision, career matchup behind it. And it's okay to play a hunch, too. A little bit of both, plus needing to rest Miguel Montero. Skipper penciled his second catcher in there, and it's been paying dividends tonight. As you said, Gracie, earlier, it wasn't, I don't even think, in tongue-in-cheek manner. Just doing what you can to get things to Haren with runners on base.
That's exactly right. He's been the offense here tonight, halfway through this ball game. Andy Pettitte has only yielded 3 hits, but one huge one to Dan Haren with a couple of guys on.
1-2 the count to Chris Snider. Chris 6 for 33 against lefties this year. That's below 200. As he chops that one past Bo Porter. Love visiting the Arizona Baseball Club. Dining, great stuff. The grill's always open for business.
Getting a phone call.
Lots of goodies.
Adkins friendly.
Oh, you can make it such, sir. The 1-2. Cut fastball, and he did not go around. We might need to do a game from up there. Over at the ABC Club, the Arizona Baseball Club.
Wanted to do a game up. I thought it was Kachinko.
Well, that'll be first up.
It's probably not going to happen. Really has 0 chance of happening.
2-2. Snider on a big sweeping breaking ball. Off the end of the bat, Mark Teixeira puts that one away. Jack in the box, think outside of the box. This is thinking outside of the box, isn't it, Grayson?
What a beautiful piece of hitting by the .439 hitting Dan Haren. That accounted for both Diamondback runs. Right now they're on the short end of a 3-2 ball game.
How about that?
Big
that
old
pitch
sweeping breaking ball
to a pitcher. There's no pride involved when you're trying to get outs. Pitcher can hit, he then becomes a hitter, and you better pitch him as such. Haren again reaches out and pokes that ball.
He's making a concerted effort to try to go the other way.
Dontrell Willis can hit. He has proven it throughout his big league career, but Danny this year having an offensive season
for the ages.
I couldn't agree with you more, as that one is low. I mean, I could over dramatize it, but even a pitch like that last one, you folks watch baseball enough at home, pitchers usually wave at a pitch like that last one, just a little cutter down in the dirt. Instead, it's a base hit into center field. He spits on the pitch a moment ago, which any other pitcher would have probably swung right through, and then just shoots it right back through the box.
And as a position player over in the Diamondback dugout, you're like, all right, guys, our starting pitcher is 2 for 2. He's got 2 RBIs. He has been the entire offense tonight. Let's climb on board, please. Please. 452.
19 hits in 42 at-bats. 19 for 42. Swing and a miss at a big breaking ball. It took a pitch prior to getting the base hit. And again, it wasn't anything dramatic, but you get a lot of regular pitchers, they're swinging at that.
Yeah, that's a changeup down and away. And then the cutter that everybody else has been swinging and missing like that. bang, right back up the box. I'm sure Teixeira probably trying to get a few hitting tips over there from Dan Haren.
The 0-2. Got him.
All three pitches the same. Sliders away. Kelly Johnson, same result. All three swings and misses. Just off the plate. Just good pitches, quality pitches.
Three runs, 6 hits, no errors for New York. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Arizona. Dan Haren has 5 multi-hit games this year.
Isn't that amazing?
Hot shot past Cano, surprised him.
Got a late break on that one. We've seen some Yankees get late breaks the last couple of nights, Darren.
We have.
That was the situation there with Robinson Cano. Yeah, the ball was hit hard, but it wasn't that far away from Robinson Cano. He got a late break. Yeah, the ball's hit well, but Cano got a late break. Watch the late break. He went the wrong way, and that's all it took for that ball to sneak by him. He broke a little bit to his right, even though the ball was hit to his left. We saw that from Derek Jeter last night. We saw it from Curtis Granderson last night. So maybe the Yanks are having trouble seeing the ball off the bat a little bit.
1-0 the count as that one misses away again. All 12 runs the Diamondbacks have scored in this series have come with 2 outs. Three hits in his last 8 at-bats against left-handed pitching for Drew, but overall this year below 200 against southpaws.
He's had a real struggle this year.
Certainly not against righties. The 1-0. What were some of the things you reminded yourself when you went into a funk against left-handed pitching?
Well, don't try to pull the baseball. Let the ball travel. Try to shoot it up the middle or the other way. When you try to pull the baseball, usually that means that front shoulder is going to pull off the baseball. It's going to fly open. If your shoulder flies open, that means your hip's going to fly open. Then you're in trouble. But if you can think the other way, think up the middle, all of a sudden now that shoulder's going to just instinctively stay square to the pitcher. That's going to open things up and enable you to shoot it right back up the box or shoot it the other way.
And take pitches like that, I would imagine.
That's exactly right.
That's a ground ball waiting to happen if he tries to do anything at all. Three and one to count, 2 outs. Haren is at second. Gillespie is at first. Steven pulls that one. On a Sunday hop, right to Teixeira and right to the bat. Promise. It's just exactly who you think would be. As a matter of fact, Babe and Mickey, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Yogi Berra, the most home runs in Yankees history. Alex Rodriguez to lead things off. Good way to start it, just off the plate, cut fastball, 1-0 the count. This earlier. Another cutter, stubborn.
We mentioned that Dan Haren's been the entire offense for Arizona tonight. Well, this man has been the entire offense for the Yanks tonight. He's driven in all three.
Split-fingered fastball.
Beautifully
and a
executed.
dandy. You said it. 1-2 the count.
Right over the top of it goes A-Rod. You could see his mouth like, whoa, as he was swinging and missing.
Protecting like the man that stands off to his left, Derek Jeter.
Not really protecting like a guy that's closing in on 600 home runs. That's really good to see right there.
Well, 41 strikeouts. Not
Exactly.
an alarming number.
Exactly. Just a professional hitter as well as a big-time power hitter.
That time, though, could do nothing with the split-fingered fastball. Alex Rodriguez is done.
42 strikeouts. Boy, that might have been an even better split finger than the one prior, Darren. It's a great shot right there of A-Rod, quickly looking back like, how the heck?
Robinson Cano shoots that one the other way. Well struck. Gillespie is there. Snatches it out of the air. Boy, he is dialed in all season long, reaching in 64 of the 70 games. Best in baseball.
That gives me opportunity to, folks, if you guys have the day off on Monday, July 5th, or even if you don't have the day off, spend your afternoon at Chase Field. The D-backs will host the Cubs for a day game starting at 1 p.m. Get your tickets today at dbacks.com or call 602-462-4794. Cubs in a matinee.
That's a good idea. I think I'll take the day off.
Well, no.
Good call, Gracie. I'm coming to the game. I'm taking the day off.
Well, no, you've got to do that game.
Oh.
We could always get Jeff Munn to sit in for you while you watch the game.
I'm going to take the day off, Money. When the Cubs come to town, Jeff Munn comes and preps in our booth. We love having him in here.
Sitting in here with us. Jeff Munn will sit in here with us. We'll do the game. You just hang in there as that was sky descent. 1, 2, 3, go the Yankees.
A 7-pitch inning for Dan Haren.
Good to have Jeff Munn on July 5th.
I agree. Blimpie game summary. There's a goodie being enjoyed at the ABC Club. Looking forward to doing a game out there right after we spend the evening at the Gila River Casino's Kachinko kiosk. 3-2 the score.
I'll be out at Friday's front row.
Oh, you're heading that way.
That's where my friends are. My friends are certainly out there at the ABC Club. I'll tell you what, with those beverages and that dessert, I can be persuaded. No, I'm still at Friday's front row.
Here's Justin Upton to lead it off. Big sweeping bender. 0-1 the count. Amica Insurance. The hit zone. You can see Upton pitched away a lot. I mean a ton. Like that. That's a changeup missing away. 1-1 the count.
Well, that's just a smart veteran pitcher with a 1-run lead. Understand, if you're going to hit a home run, you've got to hit it to the big part of the park. I'm not going to give you something soft inside that you can pull out of here.
Tries to pull that one. Alex knows he has to hurry. Fielding, firing. He's red hot. You said it earlier, Gracie. When you're rolling, and they retired him back in the third inning, but when you're rolling and you've got speed, you can stay hot.
Speed never goes into a slump. That's why Justin Upton, it's rare that a guy with speed like his goes into a prolonged slump. We've seen it, but you've always got the ability to do that. And that is, be fooled, hit a slow roller. You can see A-Rod, he wants this thing. Put a leadoff base hit for Upton.
So now Chris Young. Alex Rodriguez almost on the grass at third right now. They're playing Young where they probably should to pull in the outfield. I mean, right center field is wide open, but rarely does Young hit a ball out there in the air. Now Justin back in the second took a chance, didn't he? At first with Pettit on the mound.
He went on his first move. It took a perfect throw from Pettit to Teixeira, and then Teixeira to Jeter to get Justin Upton. And that's just the gamble you take in that situation. You hope you get him going to the plate and you've got it stolen. Change up there to Young. He laid off of it.
Andy making his 14th start of the year. With the work he has done tonight, the 5 innings pitched, he is now at 92 1/3 innings. Rodrigo Lopez is at 100 innings. Fastball, pounded it in, and it's popped up. Robinson Cano camps. Great interactive game brought to you by our great partners with Gila River Casinos. They like to call it Kachinko. Now, if you don't know about it, head out to the interactive kiosk near section 111 at Chase Field. See, that fan won an autographed ball at that point. It's Kachinko. It's great fun at the ballpark. And sooner or later, you'll pop by to play, and you'll see Gracie and I out there calling a game.
And Darren will be signing that autographed ball.
Now, that has no value. So, I mean, it's probably like a real big leaguer like yourself. LaRoche takes low. 1-0 the count.
Well, no, I'm saying you'll be out there to autograph that ball because I'm not going out there to do the game.
Oh, you're not calling the game from out there?
You can go out there. Me and Jeff Munn will do it in here.
That's a good call. That's another day off for me. I'm just stacking up the days off. We love money, as that one is in. And we mean money, M-O-N-E-Y, but also Jeff Munn, money.
There's another kind of half-hearted trip out to the mound there for Posada. Just got to about the grass part of the cut. And Andy Pettitte was basically ignoring him. Like, go back. Go back. I've got this taken care of. Well, we'll see.
Two and 0 the count. The Diamondbacks with an infield hit there by Justin Upton. 40 of those this year as a team. High fly ball. Closing the gap is Granderson. In front of him, though, is Gardner to make the play for the out. 2 outs. You know, we were talking when we came on the air about Andy Pettitte's place, not only in history, but in Yankees history. 200 victories as a Yankee now, 237 in his career. Of course, there's Whitey Ford and the successes that Whitey Ford had, and Ford doing all of his pitching only in World Series play. 10-8 with a 2.71, and Red Ruffing, previous of that generation. 3 great pitchers, but 3 considered the greatest Yankee pitchers of all.
I got to throw Ron Guidry in there, too. Maybe not the longevity that Andy Pettitte has or some of those other guys, but golly, was he good. He was a fabulous Yankee pitcher.
I would agree with that. Isn't it interesting that if you were to add Ron Guidry, that 3 of the 4 in the discussion are lefties? High fly into right field. The Diamondbacks against this veteran left-hander. Still trailing by a score of 3-2. So Danny, he's got to put up yet another 0. Southwest Airlines. Grab your bag. It is on by Blimpie, America's sub shop. Quest high-speed internet, blazing fast speeds. They won't burn up your wallet. Your Valley Hyundai dealers. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. Love to go to the team shop, pick up some goodies. I like the green D-back shirt there. Good stuff. Just a different look. Like Dan Haren has tried to give a different look to these Yankees.
Speaking of different look, looks like Dan Haren might have got a haircut, huh?
Maybe so. The one thing he's doing differently is he's not using his infielders, I'll tell you that.
Not once.
Not one time. And he, with regard to where he fits into league average, he is a league average pitcher. Ground balls, fly balls, about right down the middle. You can't categorize him either way, but he is a strikeout fly ball pitcher tonight. And you and I touched on that early. You really noticed it too yesterday. This is a drop your back shoulder, look to lift the ball Yankees club.
Yeah, they're looking to hit the ball in the seats. And they've got a lineup full of guys that can do it.
That reminds me of our friends of the show, the Toronto Blue Jays.
I don't think they quite do it at that clip yet.
No. Fair enough.
Yeah, Cito Gaston would love these guys. Get up there. Stay on that back leg and swing hard.
Two and two the count to Curtis Granderson. In the air. Back of short. Stephen Drew and another out. In the air. His infielders, I guess, have worked, just not on ground balls. Our APS Energy Assist tip of the game. Visit APS.com to take the online energy analyzer and see how much energy and money you can save. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Here's Brett Gardner. And Gardner, you would think, well, he never hits it in the air. He's a ground ball hitter. Well, he struck out twice. Curveball, strike one. Danny working here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, both pitchers have really buckled down. It's been 3-2 now for over 3 innings. Both guys just look in complete command of their stuff. Action in the Yankee bullpen. Pettit is on deck, sort of.
Damaso Marte, the left-hander. One ball and 2 strikes to count.
He's sort of on deck. The on deck circle's like a lot closer to the plate. There you go.
Danny wanted that one.
We'll take a little bit of a stroll to let Wally Bell know. I want that. I want that call.
That's a pretty good pitch. Pettit's thrown 99 pitches, the 2-2 to Gardner. In and out of the catcher's mitt. That was a cut fastball up a bit. Two. Up and in, another cut fastball. The Arizona bullpen phone rings. They start to swarm around down there as well. The 3-2 pitch to Gardner. Inside, ball 4, he walked it.
And that means Pettit's probably going to stay in the game because he's going to be called on to bunt. Good at bat there by Gardner.
First walk of the ball game issued by Dan Haren. Esperling Vasquez going to work. Glenn Sherlock, bullpen coach, looking on. Reynolds way in at third. They're playing the bunt. Middle of the infield cheats in, and now Andy asks for time and steps out.
Yeah, I would imagine these pitchers had to get an education on the signs. Just what the bunt sign is, just what possibly any other signs might be. Right now, if you're Rob Thompson, the third base coach, just go ahead and yell out bunt.
The Yankees with 24 sacrifice bunt attempts. 39 league average. The Diamondbacks have only attempted 19 sacrifice bunts, fewer attempts than the Yankees. National League team, as that one is bunted through.
Well, I would imagine that doesn't really tell the story, because if you if you're sacrificing and you end up striking out, that doesn't really go down as a sacrifice attempt, does it? Because otherwise, I can promise you the pitchers have definitely tried to sacrifice a bunt, haven't they? For the Diamondbacks?
I would imagine.
Not Dan Haren, because he rakes.
Yep. Oh, and 2 the count. Outside. Yankees have attempted 24 sack bunts, been successful 17 times. Arizona 16 of 19.
Well, maybe the pitchers just haven't had anybody on base.
Went to swing, the runner in, Gardner out at second base.
Beautiful throw by Chris Snider. Big, strike him out, throw him out. And now the Diamondback fans making some noise as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Good ball game here, Darren Sutton.
A great ball game, and maybe inside of that home dugout creeps up a little bit of momentum. You bet.
The runs.
Everybody's going to remember Haren and his 2 RBIs, but for me, 2 things stand out in that inning that even allowed Haren to get that opportunity for those 2 RBIs.
Something tells me it's a Chris Snider at bat, maybe something else about
we'll throw something else in there.
Second base, okay, we'll break it down, but still, as you guys know, lots more baseball to come. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, and a tight game. Look forward to joining you guys out there. Thank you so far, and it'll be a great post-game show, so stick with us after the ball game. I know a lot of you folks filled this ballpark last night, and those of you that didn't fill it watched. So we appreciate your support here on Fox Sports Arizona. Nobody does it better after the game than those 2. Snider, fly ball right field. Going back on it. Just enough room out there is Swisher. Snider, part of that strike him out, throw him out, tried to tie the game with one swing of the bat. But this is a double play.
Hey, you take a risk when your pitchers aren't used to hitting, and you put on a little hit and run situation. You get to strike them out, and you get to throw them out. Good call out there by Laz Diaz. Nice job of dropping the knee there by Stephen Drew.
I'll tell you, on the naked eye on that replay, Gracie, he was safe on the naked eye, as Haren is done.
Great job by Dan Haren. Did himself proud. I'd let him hit and then take him out of the game.
I kind of understand that. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Hitting .452 in the year. There's his offensive numbers as He shakes hands. Ryle off the end of the bat. 2 outs.
I remember one time Rick Sutcliffe, who was a good hitting pitcher, was having a terrible game in Atlanta. And in the 4th inning, he was due to lead off. Don Zimmer told him, he said, I'm going to have you hit, but you're out of the game. He hits a double down the line, ends up scoring in that inning. He was down by about 5 runs. We came back and won that game. He was taken out of the game, but he hit for himself, hit a double down the line, ended up scoring in a 3-run inning, come back and win the game.
Well, his offense is real. I mean, and we know that. There's nothing fluky about Dan Haren as that one is in. Offensively. He goes to the showers tonight. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs earned, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And now that's 4 of his last 5 starts have been solid.
In this booth, that's a quality start.
You totally nailed it. That is a quality start. You don't go 6 innings and give up 3 and get a quality start up here. You go 7 and give up 3.
I can't give you a quality start with an ERA of 4.5.
2-1 the count. Johnson, base hit, right field. Kelly trying to turn things back north again. He scuffled a bit. Voting is open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim, Orange County, California. Help send your favorite ball players to the All-Star Game this year by voting at dbacks.com. Vote early, vote often, vote today at dbacks.com. Anaheim, Orange County, California.
I wish you'd say that more often.
That and the fact that at future games we need more signs. Here's Cole Gillespie. Boy, a high breaking ball called strike 1, 0-1 the count. Gillespie struck out, grounded out, singled. 342 in the minor leagues against lefties this year. 342. Change up. What a tantalizing pitch. I don't know how he laid off. 1-1 the count.
Same pitch, same result. Gillespie able to lay off of it.
.110 as high as 114.
Just missed. 3-1.
I mean, just got the corner. Full count, 2 outs.
Kelly Johnson will be off to the races. But be careful of the Andy Pettit pickoff move.
Left-handed hitting Stephen Drew waits on deck. Runner goes, late swing, that's strike 3. Got him with a fastball at 90. Had to catch him looking for something else, an awkward swing.
I guess so.
So Dan Haren is done. 5-2 the score. Our text poll, how do you feel about those Yankees? 36929, 71% hate them, 25% love them. Well, we welcome baseball fans, one and all tonight, 36929. Gracie, you voted D on your own as usual. Respect them.
I respect them. As Derek Jeter comes to the plate.
Espelling Vasquez, the right-hander, goes to work.
You have to respect these guys, don't you? Their organization, their history, and their recent.
Jeter picks on an off-speed pitch. Reynolds off balance the throw and hits Jeter. That'll be an infield hit for Derek Jeter.
Once you throw it into the runner, no chance there for Adam LaRoche.
So now Nick Swisher. In the month of June, Vasquez 7 1/3 innings. Opponents hitting .045 against him, a 1.23 ERA.
He just challenged Swisher down the middle with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Swisher had a good rip at it, but fouled it back.
Only 2 hits allowed by Vasquez now this month. Bouncing ball, fair ball. Swisher with the double, runners are on second and third. New York trying to add on. Vasquez will have to try to stop it now with the likes of Teixeira, A-Rod, and Cano.
I'm sure right now, Chris Snider trying to give the youngster some kind of encouragement. Somehow, some way, try to find a way to keep the Diamondbacks in this game. A smash right over the bag.
Infield in.
Might have to play it in.
Change up high and inside, 1-0 the count. Amica Insurance hit zone for Mark Teixeira. From the left side, the switch hitter. He's pitched both sides of the plate. Inside of the fastball, 2-0 the count. They'll stop the runner at third. That's another run for New York as they look to add on here in the 8th inning. The Yankees 4, the Diamondbacks 2.
Esmeralda Vasquez taking his pounding now. Diamondback bullpen comes in. So far, Yankees 3 for 3 after Dan Haren leaves the ball game. And it doesn't get any easier for Vasquez because A-Rod is now stepping into the box.
Mel Stoudemire Jr. out to have a conversation with his right-handed hurler who had been nearly perfect this month. Action again in the bullpen. Chad Qualls is getting loose. Strikeout, single, and home run for Alex. That's 2 sliders he has thrown this inning. When it appeared to be for the longest time, he had evacuated the pitch. He threw a slider to Jeter who turned it into a hit. Better be careful. He hung that one there. But doesn't really have the command of the changeup he wants either. I would imagine that heart's just pounding, simply put. Changeup pulled it, 2-0 the count.
And falling behind every hitter. Nerves, inexperience.
Changeup, 3-0 the count. Robinson Cano waits on deck. Dan Haren went 7 innings, gave up 6 runs. 6 hits, I should say. 3 runs, 3 were earned. He pitched very well. Ball 4. Cano has popped up to third. He has flied to center, and he has flied to left. Swisher, Teixeira, Rodriguez, and the bases are loaded with the Yankees. Vasquez trying to piece things back together. We've talked about the importance of a relief pitcher when your club is down by just a run. Fastball is away. Just like a setup man trying to keep your team in the game, you just can't allow anything else.
So far, 4 batters faced, 0 retired. AJ can stay with Vasquez any longer. He's getting his clock cleaned out there.
Five to the score. Hinch didn't want to make this walk. He was hoping his reliever would be able to throw a 0 up there. The only 0, unfortunately, he was able to put up was in the outs column. 1st of June. Javier Vasquez against Dontrell Willis tomorrow. And then it's off to Tampa Bay to see Joe Madden and the Rays, as there's a lot of talk now surrounding that Rays club and a new baseball playing facility, looking to get a ballpark that fits their franchise. That ought to be interesting. And then off to St. Louis in the great Midwest. Chad Pauls goes to work for the 30th time this season.
2 runs across already, nobody out. Bases full of Yanks.
Popped up, first pitch. Gillespie is there. Teixeira tags. Ball's throw, not in time. It's cut off, sliding with another run. So that will be charged to Esperling Vasquez. 3 charged to the bullpen in 1/3 of an inning thus far. 6-2 the score. Qualls retires Posada, who drives in his 26th run of the year.
Productive out there off the bat of Posada. What Chad Qualls did do, though, is, yes, the run scored. A-Rod could not move up, nor could Cano, and the double play is still in order. And when he's right, he gets a lot of ground balls.
One and 0 the count to Curtis Granderson. Gets the corner. 1-1 the count. Falls with that fantastic stuff. You find yourself scratching your head and wondering, so far this year, and especially in his last 3 outings, what has occurred. It's been 1 2/3 innings in his last 3 outings, and 9 runs allowed. The 1-1. Big picture, Gracie, what have you seen? I mean, this is a guy with electric stuff. No one has ever questioned the stuff of Chad Qualls. Struggling, falling behind a lot.
I think it still comes back to me like I think he's learning to pitch on a brand new knee.
Line drive, base hit, center field. Come on down, they say to Alex Rodriguez.
And because of that, I think his sinker is not sinking, it's just kind of running. It's staying flat. It doesn't have downward tilt, it's got kind of a cross tilt. And because of that, he gives up a lot of hits. As you can see, that ball doesn't really sink much. It just kind of runs across. Granderson does a good job of just going with the pitch, driving in A-Rod. And the Yankees pouring it on here now in the 8th inning.
The count to Brett Gardner. Gardner struck out looking, struck out swinging, walked, and was thrown out trying to steal. Good pitch over the inside. 0-2 the count. Posada with a sac fly and an RBI this inning. Cano drove in a run. Teixeira did as well. Broke his bat. It's a roller out to the roof. Better hurry. Qualls just got it. And so now, young man who made his Major League debut last night. Colin Curtis went to Arizona State University. And ASU, congratulations on a wonderful year, but it came to an end this afternoon.
A disappointing end, I guess you would say.
You bet. Here's one of their very own, Colin Curtis. His second plate appearance in the major leagues. He's got a couple of RBIs out there. One and 0 the count. He's played in this ballpark. The challenge at Chase when U of A would play ASU here is that grabs the inside corner. 1-1 the count. He's the 5th major leaguer to have played in the challenge at Chase, and the 2nd to play in a game here at Chase Field. Schlereth the other. Names like Ike Davis, big leaguers. Jason Donald, Ryan Perry. High fly ball center field. Young won't get there. There's the first major league hit for the young man, Colin Curtis. And there are 2 RBIs to go with that first big league hit.
Stays right in the middle of the zone. Curtis pounds it over the head of Chris Young. Congratulations, young man. Local boy makes good. First major league hit. First 2 major league RBIs. And the Yankees have batted around against the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Six runs in the inning. One and 1 the count. Five runs charged, and there's that first big league hit. That'll go on the trophy case. Jeter, that one is called a ball. 2-1 the count. They play him the other way in the outfield. Bouncing ball. Johnson gobbles it up. Another tough evening for the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. In the 8th and the 9th this year, they've been outscored 103 to 57.
That's what happens when you get your first major league hit. An entire dugout greeting you at the top step. Congratulations, young man. Hopefully that's the first of thousands. And that gives me an opportunity to talk about bobbleheads. The next giveaway is July 10th, when the first 15,000 fans will get a Greg Schulte bobblehead, courtesy of Sports 620 KTAR, to mark his 2000th Diamondback radio broadcast. Then come up on August 7th. We'll be giving one away that's sure to be an all-time favorite. That's the Luis Gonzalez bobblehead, courtesy of Chase. Call 602-462-4794 for tickets to either game, or register to win the entire 2010 bobblehead collection at dbacks.com/bobbleworld. There's the governor.
Breaking ball from Java Chamberlain, or Justin Luis Chamberlain, his given name. Born in Lincoln, Nebraska, on for the 32nd time this year. ERA of 5.5 this season. But it's a funny thing with regard to an entire bullpen, as you see a handful of relievers with an ERA of 3, 4, even 5 like Chamberlain. The ninth inning man doesn't give up anything, and it seems to balance it all out and give peace of mind to all the rest of them. And it has for a decade and a half. Ramiro Pena is now at third base. Chamberlain got knocked around 2 outings ago against Philadelphia. Didn't get anybody out and gave up 3 runs. Drew took a shot at extra bases. He broke his bat. There have been a handful of blowups, and when you're a relief pitcher, you can ask Esperling Vasquez, as we'll re-examine his ERA the next time he comes in. But
yeah, it's going to take a severe dent.
Well, Chamberlain's done that a couple of times. He's had a third of an inning, 4 runs. 1 inning, 4 runs. 2 outings ago, nobody out, 3 runs.
Getting on the weight of somebody.
Trying to get the rally. Rally, he is.
Rally. Oh, okay. I like him. He's my guy.
Too.
Needs to be a big rally.
That one is pounded foul.
I like him a lot. He's trying.
He's definitely trying.
He wants his team to win. He's just rooting for his team. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Be more like him.
I love that passion. He had it last night. He was riding the Yankees pitchers. A.J. Burnett kept picking off. Did not go around on a slider.
That's the start of his rally right there.
A leadoff walk. Hey, by the way, baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every thrilling and chilling moment of the 2010 All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 13th, live from Anaheim, Orange County, California, at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox. I just feel like a better announcer with that background music.
You do. You sound great.
That's some championship music right there.
I mean, you looked great doing it.
Here's Justin Upton. Breaking ball from Java. 1-0 the count. That one misses. By the way, Dan Haren, no groundouts tonight. None. And the last player to do it, 7 or more innings without a ground out, was Clayton Kershaw, April of last year.
Rarity indeed.
He pitched great.
He really did. He threw the ball very well. He gave up a 2-run homer to Alex Rodriguez in the first inning. And then a RBI single to the same man in the third inning, and that was it. 7 innings, 3 runs. Was in complete command of his stuff. Unfortunately, he stands to lose this game because the bullpen came in and struggled mightily.
2-2 the count. See the fastball, the slider, the curveball from Chamberlain. Chamberlain ready to go.
Allen got Posada right in the kisser. Want to be a catcher, huh?
Oh boy.
Man. Kind of reached back for the ball with some anger, didn't he?
Yes, he did. The 2-2. Fastball, strike 3, 98 miles an hour. Justin thought it was below the knees.
I think he'll see when he checks the video or the replay that this is definitely a strike.
Chris Young goes after the first fastball at 97. Look at how comfortably Cano played that one. That was interesting. Kind of had it over his shoulder the entire time. Never squared up around it. Made it look easy.
That's a little style before substance, but
a little bit.
Bottom line is, as long as you make the catch. Well, what a terrific player he's become. They don't rebuild, they reload.
One 1-0 the count to LaRoche. 9-2 the score. I gotta wonder. Do you have the inside chance of being one of those racing legends tomorrow?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, I gotta believe it's Schilling or Finley or Womack, Robert Ellis.
Whatever happened to the racing Gracies?
I think you've been overruled.
Well, apparently so.
And I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I tell you, folks.
I'm glad the folks are on my side. Don't want those racing Gracies.
Oh, my goodness. Slider at the D and D-backs is called a strike. One and two the count. The 1-2 bounces in there.
I'm just glad the people have spoken. There will be no racing Gracies.
Well, I don't know about that.
Wait, when did all of a sudden my hair become like Bob Barker's?
Well, that's the broadcaster Gracie.
I mean, come on.
That's the broadcaster Gracie with the microphone. There's the Cubs Gracie. He never wins. And there's the world champion Gracie. The 2-2. Got him over a slider. Jabba Chamberlain works through the inning. LaRoche
My hair is not that gray.
Hair.
Come on, man.
APS Energy All-Star. A lot of good choices tonight, but tonight, the veteran left-hander Andy Pettitte. Could have gone to either Dan Haren or Andy Pettitte. Pettitte just maybe a stitch better, and then it's Pettitte's bullpen that did not struggle while Haren's did, unfortunately. And so 9-2 the score. Andy Pettitte, as he looks to pick up career victory, number 238. Sam Demel goes to work. The right-hander out of TCU, the right-hander acquired on this most recent road trip, making his Major League debut in Fenway Park. And he was unscathed at the stop in Boston. Connor Jackson went to Oakland. Sam Demel, a couple of years back, third-round pick out of TCU for the A's. He comes to work here in Arizona this year in AAA. Sacramento, a 1.26 ERA for the right-hander. What kind of stuff did you see from Demel in Boston?
Well, you and I both kind of liked what we saw. We saw a fastball, a moving fastball with some tilt to it, about anywhere from 91 to 94 miles an hour. A breaking ball that he can command. And he calls himself a 4-pitch pitcher.
Here's Nick Swisher. 1-0 the count. That sinker really dives out of the zone. Snider couldn't even catch it.
You don't see many sinkers in the dirt get swung at. That was a fastball in the dirt. And that was a full swing. So there is obviously some good tilt to that fastball. Goodness. Change up and a beauty.
1-2 the count. Out of Spring, Texas High School, where Josh Beckett went as well. His senior year, he broke Beckett's single-season strikeout record. Remember, it was Beckett sitting in the dugout in Fenway, watching Demel make his Major League debut. Fastball in. High fly right side. LaRoche is called off by Kelly Johnson, who makes the play. Tomorrow's the day. It debuts night and day. Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz. Should be a lot of fun. So Gracie and I, of course, are going to see that in Tampa on Saturday night, but you can go see it tomorrow. Night and day.
We're going to leave a seat between us, right?
Yes. Well,
okay.
But Gonzo's going with, so
that's true.
Maybe 5-6 seats for all of us.
Okay.
Kind of some military style.
I mean, it's going to be a big league movie night and day. Not quite as good as The Crow. But it's going to be I'm looking forward to it.
Good sinking fastball. 0-1 the count to Mark Teixeira.
Boy, That movie, The Crow. We talk about a big league movie. Family movie.
Anyway, Teixeira breaks his bat. All right, Sam Demel, looking pretty comfortable so far here in the big leagues against the Red Sox and then the Yankees.
I'll tell you what, I like what I've seen from him a lot as far as, well, he hadn't given up a hit yet. He's faced 5 batters, and they've all 5 been very good players, very good hitters. 3 from the Red Sox, now 2 at the Yankees. If he continues this, the way he's pitching, he's going to become my guy.
I'm good with that because I'd like for him to continue this.
Ramiro Pena going to step in against him. He's going to hit for Alex Rodriguez.
He came on defensively for A-Rod a half inning ago. Pena 12 for 63. Top of the 9th. As that one misses low. Two 2-0 the count. With a lot of his mates and there his brand new teammates scuffling, moving up the depth chart at times. If you keep throwing strikes and getting outs, it can happen pretty rapidly. Pitches like that, 2-1. He's drafted.
There are roles available. There are roles available. Right now he's in a mop-up role. But I would imagine roles are available for that man's bullpen.
Doesn't throw anything straight, does it?
Doesn't seem to. That was 90 miles an hour worth of something.
151 minor league appearances, a 2.79 ERA, and 10 strikeouts per 9 innings in the minor leagues. Demel with the 2-2. High fly left field.
Yep, he's my guy.
1-2-3 at Fenway Park. His second big league appearance. 1-2-3 against the New York Yankees. Vera, 542 saves, second most all time. He has retired the last 21 batters he has faced. In the comfort zone, brought to you by Haynes. David Robinson, over his last 4 appearances, scoreless work, 3 hits over 4 innings of work.
Now pitching number 30, David Robertson.
As he faces Abreu to start things off. Abreu, Chris Snider, and then someone in the pitcher spot. Well, Sam Demel, so far so good. The right-hander pours in, strike one. Javier Vasquez against Dontrell Willis tomorrow. Breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Got a day game tomorrow for getaway day.
Oh, no.
Oh, night game? 6:40.
Night game. Night game tomorrow night. Very much like there was a night game in Fenway Park when we wrapped up the series here. And it would have been at 7 if it weren't for the Celtics. They moved it back an hour. See where these Yankees heading next.
Where are they heading next?
Let's take a look-see, shall we? They're heading to Los Angeles for an off day.
To play the Angels or the Dodgers?
Dodgers. So a night game, you know what? They'll be just fine.
Yeah, that's true. Keep them off the streets of Hollywood.
All day to sleep in.
I guess they can go to Hollywood then, huh?
Bouncing ball. In time for the out. And now Chris Snider. Walked, popped up, fly to right. This was a 3-2 game through 7 complete. And certainly the work that Dan Haren did, despite the efforts of Andy Pettit, had his team right there. And then an outburst in the 8th inning, an explosion, if you will, against the Diamondbacks bullpen of 6 runs crossing the plate, with Esmeralda Vasquez and Chad Qualls struggling mightily. Qualls had struggled last couple of outings. Vasquez had not. Just got a piece of that one. 0-2 the count. The 0-2. Breaking ball is up and in. 1-2 the count. Colorado beat Boston 2-1. Certainly keeping an eye on that.
And by the way, break up the Chicago White Sox.
They win
again.
Goodness gracious.
I think that's like 7 or 8 in a row for Ozzie Guillen. They beat the Atlanta Braves today 9-6.
Wow, and Tampa lost as well. So Boston lost, Tampa lost, San Diego beat Tampa 2-1.
Also in the American League East, Baltimore a loser today against the Florida Marlins.
Okay.
Yankees fans are watching that closely.
Anyway, our post-game show coming up right after this. It's Quest Diamondbacks Live. Todd and Joe always with good things to talk about, turning points in the game. We'll join them at some point during the game. Good interviews, conversations from down below as well. For the 3-2. Snider line drive, base hit left field. So for Chris, he had walked back in the 2nd inning, popped the 1st, flied to right. And the most loyal of all fans keeps his heart right there in it, standing and cheering. And here's Augie Ojeda.
guy.
I do too. 0-1 the count.
He just hadn't seen much action this year.
That's just his 31st at bat of the year.
Still a fan favorite.
That's great. The 0-2. Fastball is away. 1-2 the count. 45,776 again in this ball game, and it promises to be to the rafters again tomorrow night. Diamondbacks look for a series victory over these Yankees. Augie spoils a pretty good breaking ball. And by the way, tomorrow, again, we were talking about it a moment ago, on a much lighter side, the final legend will be revealed in the Legends race. When does that Legends race start? July 2nd, right? The first one?
We've been told, yeah.
July 2nd. The beginning of the Dodgers series. So you're thinking you're out?
I'm not anticipating it.
Well, no offense to the other guys. They're all great guys, but if you're not in, I'm going to start my own separate Racing Gracie's race in the concourse.
Well, no, the fans have spoken. They want no part of the Racing Gracies.
I tell you.
And I thank them.
The 1-2. Locked him up. And so Augie goes down on strikes. And hopefully everything's all right with them.
Dogs and cats living together.
They survived the 0-1 season together.
Yes,
they made it through there, they knew they'd be all right. 0-1 the count to Kelly Johnson.
We call him hard-hitting Kelly Johnson. Snider will get to second base on the wild pitch there.
The 1-1. High, 2-1 the count. He brought his license plate with him. High drive, center field. Granderson going back to the track. Double pumps. No chance. Johnson with a double. 9-3 the score. That ball was scorched.
That's hard hitting Kelly Johnson.
You bet he's hard hitting. You know I like watching that hard hitting Kelly Johnson.
Fastball. And then some confusion there from Granderson, but he made the right play. He wasn't going to get it. Here's the dogs and cats.
Yeah.
You just be quiet, honey. You stop that. Nope, I'm not going to stop.
Here's Cole Gillespie. 93 miles an hour. 0-1 the count. This game is more than 3 hours old now. 0-2 the count to Gillespie. Stephen Drew waits on deck.
And the Yankee fans now making their presence felt.
Arizona blew them out in game 1 of this series, 10-4. It's 9-3 in game 2 the other way. Look at Posada still putting his nose on that with a 9-3 lead. And he's no spring chicken anymore either.
38-year-old, been behind the plate for a lot of ball games.
Robertson ahead, 1-2 the count. Cole 1 for 4 tonight, singled back in the 5th inning. The 1-2. Breaking ball just got a piece of it. Arizona 18-16 here at home. The New York Yankees 18-17 on the road. And the 1-2. Again, putting that chest protector in front of it. He's looking to finish a day's work there. Posada, he's got the less experienced pitcher out there, showing no body language of frustration with him, trying to get him through this inning.
That's his job. And he does it as good as anybody in the game. And has for years.
2-2 the count. Look out over there, that camera well visiting dugout. A little scary. Runner at second, the 2-2. Got him with a fastball up and away. So, game 2 in this series goes to the New York Yankees. And with regard to the standings in the American League Eastern Division, they gain a full game on both Tampa and Boston. And they like days like that, and Toronto as well. Everyone else below, Baltimore too far away to be concerned about. Tampa, Boston, and Toronto all lose a game to the New York Yankees, who tonight with the victory improved to 44-27. The Diamondbacks dropped to 18-17 at home and 28-44 overall on the season. A lot more to talk about in the post-game show. Some great interviews, some reactions from down below. Todd and Joe are ready to roll. Let's kick it on out to them. Get it going, boys. This is Quest Diamondbacks Live right now.